On today's Money Monday, over 75 million Americans play fantasy football. And did you know that there is a bit of a correlation, or at least maybe a roadmap, when it comes to fantasy football and your finances? So Scott Carty from Carty Capital Management joins me to kind of break some of this down for us. Let's start with quarterback. How can quarterback represent from your fantasy team to your personal finance?
Yeah, so the first thing that you want to do when we're using this analogy from fantasy football to finances is have a good leader, a good quarterback. And we're going to talk about Matt Stafford. All right? Especially in game one, you saw at the end of the game how great he did at getting the right people in the right place and making sure that everybody was doing what they were supposed to be.
Correct.
Doing.
So he's the leader, so he drives the car, so to speak.
Yeah, so you want to have a financial professional that is putting all of the right pieces in place, whether it's a financial plan, whether it's bringing in an attorney or a tax person to help you do what you were supposed to be doing when you're supposed to be doing it.
Okay, that makes sense. Quarterback, leader. Let's move on to a position like running back.
Yeah, so running back, let's talk about Doug Martin. So Doug Martin had a disappointing first 2 years in the league, but really bounced back last year and was the second leading rusher in the NFL. And maybe you so far have had disappointing retirement savings. Your retirement isn't exactly what you want it to be, and maybe you're a few years away from being able to retire. So you can still catch up. So right now, if you are over 50 years of age, you can add additional contributions.
Right.
So if you're under 50 years of age, you can put in $18,000 into employer-sponsored plans.
Okay.
If you're over 50, you can put in an additional $6,000.
So like Doug Martin, we can all catch up. What about wide receiver?
Yeah, so wide receiver, let's talk about Julian Edelman. And when he was in college, he was actually a quarterback at Kent State.
I did not know that.
Yeah, so he decided that he would do a little bit better if he was wide receiver, and he made some adjustments, and now he's a really good wide receiver. And
so what are the lessons we're learning from Julian?
Yeah, so just like he made some adjustments in his plan, I'm sure he didn't start out deciding to be a wide receiver, but now you can make some adjustments too. And really you need to, because life doesn't always turn out the way we expect it to. So maybe you have job changes, layoffs, or maybe even better things like promotions or getting married or even having a baby. So you need to make adjustments to your financial plan, and you really should be looking at your financial plan every year to make those adjustments.
So like Julian Edelman, we need to be flexible. Let's move on to tight end.
Yeah, so Rob Gronkowski is who we're going to use as tight end.
Another Patriot.
Yeah, another Patriot. Kind of a theme here, I guess. But he is really considered one of the best, if not the best option for tight end. He's kind of a no-brainer when it comes to the tight end option. And really with your finances, employer-sponsored plans, almost all of them provide matching options, which should be a no-brainer to you. But 1/3 of people that are contributing to their employer-sponsored plans aren't taking advantage of the full match. That's crazy to me. That's free money that you get that you should be putting into. So take advantage of your full employer match.
Yeah, so the employer match is a no-brainer, and when you're drafting your fantasy team, Gronkowski is a no-brainer.
Yeah,
let's move on to kicker. We've got a little bit of time left. What about kickers?
Yeah, Adam Vinatieri is our kicker. And the reason we're talking about him is because he's been in the league for a long time. He is 43 years old. He's actually third on the all-time scoring list. And the way he got there is just a little bit at a time. You know, he only scores 3 points at a time, but because he's had longevity. So when you are thinking about your finances, think long term. You're not going to be able to do it for the most part by winning the lottery or putting a large lump sum in at one time. So just put a little bit at a time and think long term when you're planning for your finances.
Slow and steady. Who would have thought when you're drafting your fantasy team that you want to model your financial plan after Adam Vinatieri?
That's
the
right.
things we learn here. Scott Carty, thank you so much for joining us.